So Alpine running, the idea is simply that you're running in the Alpine, and the Alpine exists on a mountain above tree line. So if you look at Mount Rundle, for example, you can see that the lower 2/3 of it are covered in trees. That stuff is awesome to run in, but up above tree line, obviously you get the best views, and the terrain generally becomes more rocky. So I had a really good season initially in 2012, just scrambling and hiking the normal way. And at the same time, I was trail running around town sort of independently from that. And it was at the end of the season that I took a trip out to Healy Pass. It was actually like my last training run before I ran the Grizzly, which is like a 50-kilometer ultra. I think that one experience running out to Healy Pass sort of like started to show me that everything could come together at that point. So then I decided that I was going to start bagging peaks in my shorts and my sneakers and running up to the top of them, all the ones with good trails, and then I just kept going with it until I was running mountains that had no trails whatsoever, and I was just trying stuff that was frankly no one else was really trying as far as I was aware, and I couldn't find any information about what I was trying to do. Being in the backcountry and mountain running plays into that as well, has always been really mentally challenging for me to go by myself somewhere really far off where I'm disconnected with society and rescue services and all of that kind of stuff. That's always been really difficult for me. However, I've always been really attracted to doing it. I have a number of years of an ongoing relationship with my own fear, and sometimes I'm able to overcome it, and sometimes it like gets the better of me. And there's lots of times when I'm alone and I'm very high up and I'm in a really beautiful place that people obviously in the Rockies, people come from all over the world to see some of these places, and to just be up, you know, sometimes really high, and just, you know, in the summertime, just my shorts, sneakers, not even a shirt, just a pack on my back, and just be ripping down a trail, and my feet just sort of constantly adapting to the terrain. And there's been times where it's like literally like tears in my eyes a little bit, because it's I feel like that lucky to be doing what I'm doing. So generally I start out pretty early in the morning. It might be dark, it might be cold. I just I don't know, try to keep things streamlined as much as possible, but I just try to focus on getting to like the goal of the day, which would be sort of the farthest point out into the backcountry or to the summit of a mountain. My thoughts and emotions could range anywhere from just thinking about the things that need to be done in terms of logistics, when I need to eat in order to stay fueled enough, and drinking at the correct times, and managing my pace and my exertion and all that kind of stuff. Physically, like, it's just sort of, the word I like to use is you're just being battered. Your knees are being battered, and your ankles over the course of like however many hours of a day. You put in like this huge wealth of effort and time to accomplish really those small moments of really extreme emotion. Sometimes it can be amazing, and I feel so lucky to be there, and the forces of gravity and speed and motion, and it just feels so incredible. Sometimes I've just experienced sort of almost like an ecstasy or like a glowingly positive emotion. Other times, like, you're out there and within the first 5 minutes you're like, why am I out here? What am I doing? What am I trying to accomplish? So it's sort of this dynamic that's constantly back and forth. I guess I've run 2 ultra marathons at this point. I put up what was potentially the fastest known time on Mount Temple in August of 2013. So one thing that sort of exists in hiking scrambling culture around here is the Canmore Triple Crown. You hike up Ha Ling Peak at the east end of Rundle and Lady Mac in one season, and I had the idea of running up all 3 mountains and not utilizing a car at all and just running in between all the peaks. So it'd be cool to try it in the winter. It'll obviously be a lot colder, and I don't fare that well in the cold, so that'll be a challenge that I'll have to deal with. But I feel like each of the mountains potentially lends itself well in the winter. I don't feel like avalanche risk is too bad. I would like my mountain running to go a more alpine route, to involve more snow and ice and potentially alpine tools. And it would be awesome if I could merge it even more with alpine climbing a little bit. I think that would be super neat. Although I'm not really trying to inspire anyone, I feel like people get a kick out of it. And if anything, I wouldn't mind inspiring people to think about the outdoors and think about the sublime and think about nature.